so I spread all my footprints around, yeah. I know that every day will always bring me something new.
Hello and welcome to our channel, and also welcome to the fourth and the final video of our western trip. We went east coast to west coast and back again in about 30 days. If you haven't seen our first 3 videos, I encourage you to go take a look at those. We will have a link for those in the description below. So in this leg of the trip, we are now headed from Page, Arizona. We'll be traveling up to Moab, Utah, and we plan to be there for a few days and do some off-roading. Originally we had planned to stop for a couple of nights in Monument Valley, but because of the elevation issues that Katie was having, we decided to just bypass that and head right into Moab, where we stayed at the KOA. The drive from Page to Moab was just absolutely beautiful, as you might expect. We just absolutely love this part of the country. We can't seem to get enough of it, and we are just itching to go back. Hopefully we can do that again real soon. But I tell you what, if you've never been to Moab, Utah, you definitely should put that on your list. I think that is one of our favorite places so far. We just enjoyed getting out into the canyons and off-road into the most beautiful desert areas I think that there is. So as you're about to see, the first day we took our truck off-roading, went about 50 miles I believe, and then the second day we rented a side-by-side and went another 50-60 miles and just had the most amazing time. The views were just absolutely incredible. Okay, so little update here. We are in Moab, Utah, and today we're here for about 3 days, and so today, this afternoon, we're actually taking the truck out on an off-road trail, and so our plan is to start out on the Gemini Bridges Trail, which will eventually take us up around, I think, Dead Horse State Park, and then back down onto the Shafer Trail. So, man, we're looking forward to this. I guess it's probably going to take us most of the afternoon. And then tomorrow, we actually have some side-by-sides reserved. We're going to go out and do some side-by-siding. And so, man, it should be a lot of fun. This is a beautiful place. Wow, I mean, let me show you here. This is what it looks like. I mean, it's just big rocks everywhere.
What are you doing?
Tearing down the tires. We're going off-roading, baby.
Oh no, I'm scared.
Our off-roading trip started with the Gemini Trail just outside of Moab, and it was not that difficult. It wasn't quite as rugged as later on when we get on the Shafer Trail. Pretty quickly we encountered a convoy of VW vans, and at this section there's no real way to pass, so I had to back up the hill. And Katie, she's like, I'm getting out of here, and so she stepped out while I backed up and found a little pull off to let them go by. So as you might know, our truck is a 1-ton, and so it's not, I guess, ideal for off-roading as far as the quality of ride, but it does have off-road mode, and like you've seen, I aired the tires down pretty low, which made a huge difference. See the snow-capped mountains in the background over there on the other side of Moab. So I guess after about an hour and a half or so off-road, we arrived high up on a plateau, intersected with the main road there, which took us over to Dead Horse Point State Park, which is absolutely incredible. So Dead Horse Point is located pretty high up on a plateau, and it provides some of the most incredible views I think I have seen on our entire trip. It is definitely a place you want to go if you get the chance. So we're up here at Dead Horse Point State Park, and feels like you're on top of the world up here. I mean, good grief. Not much to see from this point, but getting up here, it was crazy. And we're about to go up here to the, I think, to the edge of the world, pretty much. Yeah, I'm a creep. I'm following this beautiful girl right here, just following her along, wondering where she's going. Can I go with you?
Yes, you can come see the view.
I'm looking at the view.
Oh, look at that.
Here, just to take in.
Oh, that's cool.
Let's start right here.
It's called the power of water.
Holy smokes. Oh my goodness, I'm like right now not even sure if this is real. I think that's the Shafer Trail down there. See that trail that runs along? So we're going to be down there a little later on, riding that trail. But look at this. Oh my. See, we're going to go right down alongside those. Shafer Trail actually will run right down by there. This is incredible.
What are you trying to capture?
The beauty.
It's just hard to even capture.
There's the Colorado River. Winds all around to the bottom of the canyon. So after leaving Dead Horse Point, we headed back around to the beginning of the Shafer Trail. And if you've not heard of the Shafer Switchbacks, well, you're in for a ride. I had, of course, watched some of the footage on YouTube, but honestly, it did not prepare me for the experience that we were about to have. The Shafer Trail, the switchback area, drops down 1,000 feet, pretty much down the face of the canyon. Of course, as you can see, the road here in this area is pretty narrow for the most part. Every so often there's a little wider spot where you can pass a vehicle, but much of this part of the trail, if you meet an oncoming vehicle, somebody's going to have to back up to find a place wide enough to get around each other. And of course, the switchbacks are very tight, and being in a large truck that sets up pretty high, it was a little intimidating, I'm not going to lie. Quite a few times I had to use my 360 cameras that are on the truck so I could actually see the edges of the road because the hood of my truck was blocking the view. And of course, there are no guardrails, and if you go off the edge, it is a long ways down. Pretty quickly into this part of the trail, Katie was like, nope, I can't do this. I'm not doing this. Let me out. I'm going to walk all the way down. And of course, I convinced her to just sit tight and we'll take it slow. And honestly, she did great. She was a real trooper and even helped me take some of the footage with the cameras. In reality, the road is not super steep in most places, but I think it's just the idea that it's very narrow and there's oftentimes a sheer drop off, and that can have a tendency to kind of play with your mind. There were a couple of these switchback corners that I did have to do kind of a 3-point, pull forward, back up, turn in order to get the truck around the sharp curve there. Now, like I said, we did take it pretty slow. Obviously, some of this footage is sped up a little bit just for the sake of time, but we did take it slow, and at no time were we in real danger. So we made it just fine through the infamous Shafer Switchbacks, and I would say it was quite exhilarating. And we dropped into the bottom of the canyon, and from here on out it was just much more flat, but just amazing views, and a lot of places where if you have plenty of time where you can pull over, where you can sightsee or stop for lunch, and we had just an amazing time. So driving along the Shafer Trail, we come across this place called the Gooseneck Overlook, and it's a sheer cliff that drops right down to the Colorado River. This is a great place to stop and take some pictures and just take in the beautiful scenery. As you can see, this whole trail is just filled with stunning views, beautiful rock formations, and just never-ending beauty. Eventually we make it back out to the one of the main roads, and this road actually runs right alongside the Colorado River. The river is on one side, and on the other side of the road, basically just a wall of rocks. along this road. There's a pretty neat little spot where you can pull off and you can see the petroglyphs up on the side of the rock wall. We found it very interesting and definitely, I would say, is worth stopping and taking a look. So as I mentioned before, we had a side-by-side rented for the following day, and we rented this one through a company called High Point Hummer and ATV right there in Moab. We spent a good part of the day just out exploring. I think we went close to 60 miles. We had an absolute blast, and I would definitely recommend, if you get the chance to do it in Moab, go ahead and take advantage of it. You will not be disappointed. What you got for lunch?
Lunch break. Pizza from last night. Cold pizza is the best.
It looks good. So yesterday we were over there on the other side of the potash plant there, way out around through, and there's Dead Horse Point, I think, is right there. But we went all the way around, and then on the other side of that plateau over there. Now today we're on this side of the Colorado River. You can see our trail that we came up right through here. And now we got to go back down this side and then follow this valley back out towards Moab. So later in the afternoon, we headed back to the other side of the town of Moab to an area called Fins and Things, and we rode on a trail called Sand Flats Trail. This area is a completely different type of landscape than where we had previously been out in the canyons, and this area consisted of lots of large rocks and sand. The trail would wind around and oftentimes over these large boulders, and some of the sections were quite steep, but that's what made it a lot of fun.
Yeah, that looks steep. It looked like nothing on the camera. It looked like a piece of cake.
Wow, so that was just a blast. We spent a few days there in Moab. Most of our time we were out on the trail. We didn't spend a whole lot of time in the town, but it's also a beautiful little town. We fell in love with it, and now we basically are starting out our journey back home on the East Coast. Originally, we had planned that our route headed back home would be through Colorado over the Rockies, but because of the elevation and again the effects it had on Katie, we took the southern route back down through New Mexico. We have made it today from Moab, Utah, down into just east of Albuquerque, New Mexico, and found a little campground here along the interstate, along I-40. And but we had an eventful day. I had the one of those things you always dread. Might happen. We had a blowout today. So this morning had a blowout, and you can see the damage. Ripped it up pretty good. Now thankfully underneath there most everything's good, but it sure ripped up the side skirt here, and got my spare on there, so it just blew. I've got tire monitor, and there was no indication, of course. It just blew. We heard it blow from inside the truck, and just went all to pieces. But yeah, what can you do? One of those things. Now I gotta see if I can't get Grand Design to send me out a new side skirt. hopefully it'll be a painless endeavor, but we'll see. Right there, there's the tire. What's left of it. Pretty much just tread all the way around it, just ripped off. So, is what it is. So we want to say a big, huge thank you to all of y'all who have followed us on our journey out west. We had an amazing time, and if you have not already subscribed, we'd love to have you as a subscriber and ring the bell so you get notifications of our next adventures. And until then, choose your adventures today and get out there and do it.